Chapter 7 is here, and that means new duo victory cups. If you want to qualify to every single one for the rest of the season, then you have come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys the best tips and tricks to make sure you can qualify to the new and improved duo victory cup finals. Now real quick, if you do find this video to be helpful, please feel free to like and subscribe as we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so let's hop straight into it. So the first thing I want to start off with is, what is the duo victory cup? The duo victory cup is a duo tournament where there is 2 rounds. The opens round, which is available to everyone, is you have 7 games to qualify and you have to get in the top 1,000 duos on your region, which is way more than last season, so it should be much easier. Now along with this change, they have decided to change the format from last season where you still get 65 points for a win and placement starts at top 25, but kills are now only 1 point instead of 2, so this means placement is still very important. Now if you want to be able to qualify, you will need to be playing out every single game that you can while going for some elimination points, but you can do most of that in the end game. But if you do manage to make it past the opens round, finals will be much harder and you have to be able to win a game on any region to earn money. This is going to be very hard to do this season as you need to be playing for the win only. But I can assure you that if you listen to this video, you can at least make your first duo victory cup finals and be able to compete for the money. So now let's talk about your game 1 strategy and the importance of this game in opens. Firstly, in your first game, this is likely to be the lowest elo lobby that you're going to play the whole tournament because you can be put in this game with anyone. There is tons of players playing this, so most people are likely to be bad in this game. Now if you are a confident fighter, you should be able to take advantage of this first game and go for some kills, but don't worry, if you're not, then you can still play safe and get a ton of points, since remember, it's 65 points for a win. But in your first game, if you do die of spawn, do not panic as you have little to no points, so you should still be in really low elo, so your next game shouldn't be too terrible. So in this first game, you should be aiming for a top 5 placement as that will guarantee you a ton of points. And I have found the best way to do just that while also getting some kills. So basically you need to start about 5 minutes late, as then you'll be put in a game with some of the people who died off spawn, and most of the time they won't be that good. Then if you want to take some fights in the mid game, then I would suggest trying to be on dead side when taking these fights, as this will help you to not get third partied and be able to finish out the fight with no issues. But if you don't want to take fights, you will also still want to rotate dead side if you can every single game, as this will give you free rotates and allow you to not get W keyed by a good player. Now once you have managed to get through the early and mid game, I would suggest in the end game you try to play height as much as possible, as this will give you a clear advantage over the entire lobby. This will also help you to be able to pick up a few more elims, as you will have way more opportunities to fight and spray down at people. Now this will be the absolute easiest way to get kills, but if you can't get height, just focus on rotating as early as possible and then look back as much as you can for people who are shambles. Now once you've had that insane good game, you will be in a much higher elo lobby, which means the games will be way more stacked and much harder and filled with better players. I would advise you to play safe in these types of lobbies, as the fights will be much harder, as the format is way more placement based. You can pick up some free points. So in order to play safe, I would suggest you to rotate to the dead side of the map, which if you don't know is going to be the side where it's pulled the less, which means that it should have the least amount of players on it. After this, just be sure to try to play out all of your games and go for top 5s, as if you have enough top 5s and a win, you should be able to qualify. Now since I have gone over the format and giving you guys some tips on how to play your games, I would now be going over the loadout you should be carrying. When it comes to the ARs, I think everyone should be carrying the new Red Eye AR, because this thing absolutely beams and is the best AR for Surge right now. But if you can't find one though, the infantry isn't a bad option, or you could use the new Red Eye SMG, as this SMG is crazy. Now the shotgun I will want you guys to be carrying is the Iron Pump shotgun, as this is just the best option when it comes to these, but luckily this season's shotguns are both really good, so if you find a good twin hammer, just use that. This Iron Pump also hits for a lot of damage, and if you manage to get a legendary or mythic one, it has the ability to be able to 200 pump enemies. Now after you have figured out what guns to carry, I would now be talking about what other things you can carry for this meta. So this season in comp, we only have one movement item, which is the wingsuit. I was watching the FNCS Cup the other night, and pros are carrying this item, but you have to know exactly how to use it in an end game or you're going to get absolutely beamed. Most of them are just constantly going up and down, so they get the most speed to get there as quickly as possible. Now with your final 2 slots, you will need to be carrying heals, and in these opens, I would suggest you to carry a chug jug if you can find one, and just minis and bigs, as there isn't a lot of options this season when it comes to heals. In finals though, one of your teammates will need to be carrying medkits, since it will most likely go to heal off in all of final games. Now, since I just went over the best new meta loadout, I would now be going over drop spots. This will be very important to you if you want to qualify, as having a good drop spot could make or break your entire tournament. It will be the decider on how much loot you get and the quality of your loot. Now, I suggest dropping somewhere you can get at least 8 chests and some floor loot spawns, and somewhere you'll be able to farm metal, as this is very scarce if you don't land somewhere with some metal. So that is why I've come up with some good drop spots that can guarantee you some good loot and lots of metal while also being fairly uncontested. The first drop is going to be where I'm going to drop this duo cash cup, and that is going to be Latte Landing. Now, this drop has 21 chest spawns, so you and your duo should be able to find movement here. This drop, from my experience, will be contested in most games, but you might have an off game where you are uncontested. Well, now the second drop spot is going to be this little drop near Tip Top Terrace, and this spot is really good as it has 16 chest spawns around. This drop is also easy to get mats from, as it has some metal for you to get, and on your rotates you can pretty easily farm wood and brick. Now, the third drop spot is going to be this spot where you can do a split on the bottom right side of the map. It also has some quick easy materials for you to farm pretty much as soon as you land. This drop will most likely be uncontested, but again, if you have the best drop, you will for sure be winning this drop most of the time. Now, after you have found a drop spot or chose one of mine, you would need to have a drop map to secure yourself having the best drop every single game. Now, with this drop map, you can either buy one off of someone you know or online, or if you can't do that, then I would suggest looking up a tutorial right here on YouTube to learn how to make one yourself. If you don't know how to use one, then what you need to do is look at your bus route and ping on the map the closest ping to the bus route that's on the drop map, and then you need to pull out your glider right above it to secure that drop. Now, in this video, I'm pretty sure I have covered everything you need to know about qualifying for your first ever Duo Victory Cup finals and be consistent with it. I hope this video taught you well, and hopefully you can finally qualify this season. But without further ado, if you like this type of content, be sure to like and subscribe, and also use my code PIGGLE in the Fortnite item shop, and I'll see you guys in the next one.